There's fire in the atmosphere, moving in synergy. This electricity, the power of the pioneers, tearing through history. This is our destiny. We are the power, we are the change, we are the pioneers of paradise and fame. We push it louder like hurricanes. We are the pioneers, we are the pioneers.
Don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit rewind. How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, what you holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue? I'm feeling kinda used, yeah, like a drug that you take when you're sick of crying all your tears away. Is that all I am? All I want is for you to be happy. You know this ain't healthy. Do I make you happy? How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, what you holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue? I'm doing everything he doesn't do, but I'm still not enough. Even your parents know I'm good for you, but I'm still not enough. You wanna be done with him, you're stuck with him, cause you don't have the guts. And after all I've done, I'm still not enough. Still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Don't worry, Dean is here, I can assure you. There he is. He's popped himself in. And welcome back to the ESL Challenger League Season 45 in Asia. We've got a pretty interesting game for you today. We've got Team NKT, and that is a roster that's absolutely stacked with a lot of very well recognizable names I'm looking forward to cast for you today. They're up against MungYu Esports, Dean, and this is a bit of a topsy-turvy affair, I reckon.
Yeah, I think we might be having a bit more of a one-sided game. On paper, this one looks like it should be pretty one-sided in comparison to the game we had yesterday, which we thought was going to be relatively competitive and did actually end up being a little bit of a walkover as well. So, I mean, I am hopeful that we're going to be wrong about how today's game is going to go, kind of like we were yesterday, but in the opposite way. But it's difficult to see. This NKT lineup is incredibly stacked. I mean, obviously, since bringing in Gratisfaction and Exalte, was he the other most recent addition as well, I believe.
think it was the most,
And Bente.
yeah.
They're just all nuts. Every single player on that team has been or can be a star in their own right. So the question is, how will that, I suppose, work with all of them together? But at the very least, I don't think this level of firepower is going to let them be dropping any games here in, at least against some of these lower ranked teams in ECL. There definitely could be a bit of a challenge once you get against some of the top teams from the group.
Yeah, let's have a. I mean, I think we can have a quick look at the rosters. I mean, there's a lot of history when it comes to NKT. As I said, MungYu Esports, more of an unknown team. They're sort of a Hong Kong-based roster, which unfortunately only actually had a chance to play once or twice in this league. They've already had a forfeit loss against their name. They are playing today, so no worries about that. But here are the names on Team NKT. I mean, Zine, I think I'll go for when it comes to the pronunciation. He has been around for a long time. He used to play on an MVP project back in 2015 and 2017. The South Korean team, that was always a high quality roster. Proved some upsets actually in some of the big S-tier events back then. Urcast is very well known as the IGL, Bentek, Quality, and 100 Thieves, and of course other teams like Tai Lu. Gratisfaction has been on Extrema most recently, of course, as well, and 100 Thieves as well. So, like, I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, these guys are incredibly well known. Even Zeralt, the guy I haven't mentioned yet, he's talented and looking forward to seeing what he can do on the server today when he's a big advantage, you would have to, it's fair to say, against these opponents.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what sort of map pool NKT are working with as well. Obviously, they haven't had a long time, so that's perhaps an area that MungYu could get a little bit of a drop on them if they can head towards a map pool that's strong for themselves. Maybe we could see a map or such being taken away, but it's going to be really tough. As you said, I think they've had 2 forfeit losses already, and then 1 actual loss up against Team Explosion, who are, I mean, decent. They have some pretty solid players, sure, but still, in comparison to NKT, I think this game, that game rather, would have been pretty easy, and it still went incredibly poorly. So they're going to have a very difficult best of 3 ahead of them here.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I could just look through it now, it was in week 1 they played 2 matches. One was the forfeit that unfortunately had to come through, and they played again, and then lost 0-2, which is again a shame. However, the week 3 match which they played was also that forfeit loss, unfortunately, I believe to Fire Esports, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they haven't had a chance to really play much, and that's why they're absolutely rock bottom of the league so far. I think, looking at it correctly, if Liquipedia isn't lying to me, they only won 14 rounds in that best of 3 they actually played, because of course the DNF or the did not start, I guess, in this case, for the 2 forfeits would be 2 16-0s. It would count in the stats. So I believe 14 rounds total is all they've won. When it comes to NKT, they're top of the league, tied with 3 other teams: Fire Esports, Wings Up, and the Mongols, of course, who will be playing at the Paris Major, obviously. So yeah, it's a pretty stacked group, I have to say. I think it's those 4 teams I just mentioned that will be the best. But yeah, let's have a look at the veto and see what NKT have to play on today.
Yeah, it's always difficult knowing what sort of vetoes these teams actually work with, since a lot of their games and such aren't on HLTV, but it looks like we're going to have a Vertigo pick actually coming out from MungYu. That's got to be a little bit of a change up. They're like, okay, yeah, we can't go with any of the standard maps here. NKT are going to be able to play us on any of those. Let's bring out Vertigo, see if we can catch them off guard maybe a little bit with that pick. NKT, their pick seems a little bit more rational, going in with an Inferno, a map where as a team, as a unit, they should be able to just power their way through individually. So yeah, I mean, first 2 maps they're looking pretty solid. I like the picks, and then overpass the cider again. We're getting a pretty interesting veto here. I'm not too sure what they're like on any of these maps, if I'm being 100% honest.
No, I mean, I haven't seen them play on Overpass yet. I think historically, I remember some good games on them on Inferno, actually. I think Bentet actually more recognisably, actually, especially on Tai Lu, was a fantastic B anchor on Inferno. I believe he even has that slight off angle near Second Oranges, almost named after him. I think that's the spot that I hear people call Bentet. So yeah, I think he's always been the quality on this map, and of course he even had that stint in Gen G for a little bit, where I believe I think he won an event actually in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's been a while since he's really been a big factor, and it's a shame because he's a star which we've probably come to expect to be a big factor on a big team at some point and push maybe a Tyloo, maybe an Extreme and more 100 Thieves to the next level in the past. Just to correct myself, I actually never played on 100 Thieves. It was Greatest Faction, obviously, that played on 100 Thieves. Bentet never did. But yeah, I think it's fair to say that when he was on Extremum, we wanted to see a lot from him. But in the end, other than that, I think slight chance they had in the ESL Road to Rio, where I think they actually won that event to qualify for the major that never happened, right? He hasn't really shown up many other places, unfortunately, other than Tai Lu every now and again.
Yeah, I mean, that's always what's been interesting with him. Even when he was in really good form back in the day, we didn't really get to see him at too many events, as once he ended up swapping over to the NA team and such, he had his individual moments, but the team didn't really click too well, if I recall correctly. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see him on this team, because in my opinion, alongside Gratisfaction, Bentes should be definitely one of the star fraggers here. And then if you have Urkast, Zeralta and Zion all just playing incredibly solid, then this is going to be a super scary roster. So if it clicks as I think it will, then we're going to have a team here that I think could cause some trouble, not just within Asia, but potentially internationally as well.
Yeah, quite possibly. Right now, unfortunately, we have some delays. I do hope that MungYu Esports are going to actually join the server. Right now, as far as I understand, they are not in, so it'll take a while, I imagine, for them to join up. If they do,
it's only 2 minutes after the start.
It's only 2 minutes. So yeah, I'm hoping there's a shot, because obviously we're a bit concerned considering they've had 2 previous forfeit losses. However, they have played a match recently, so I want to see them play today against NKT. It's a good opportunity to at least play right on a main ESL broadcast, show what you're made of. I hope they'll show up, and I'll let you guys know when that happens. But for now, when we come back, I believe we'll hopefully go back into the game and get this one started. But we'll keep you up to date as to how that goes. See you in a minute.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
All right, guys, we're back, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to have the game we introed today. It's going to be a forfeit, as we kind of suspected. I mean, MungYu have actually only played once of their 4 games total so far, so it looks like that Team NKT, the banger players we wanted to watch, Faction, Buntet, unfortunately, we're not going to see them in action today, but I'm sure we'll have plenty more opportunities for that. They get a forfeit win today, and we're going to be switching matches, Dean.
Yeah, we will, unfortunately, but we still have some pretty talented players on the server, so it's not like we're not going to have some enjoyable CS. We have Wings Up versus Fire. They're actually already live in-game, I believe, so we'll be joining them pretty soon. And it looks like at least Fire are having a pretty solid start to this matchup, so it could definitely make for a pretty entertaining game. Do we know what the full veto is, actually? I am curious.
I will give a quick look at that in a moment. I can scroll up. The veto is... Fire Esports picked Mirage, Wings Up picked Nuke, and Overpass is remaining. So there we go. Yeah. So we actually do have maps at least. So thanks to the live vetoes bot in the ESA Discord for giving us that one. Always very handy. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because, of course, actually these two teams, Dean, are both on 2 wins so far in this season. One more game played by Fire Esports, I believe. And I believe we can jump into the game right now. So sorry guys, you don't have NKT today. They're going to get a forfeit win, but we do have a high quality matchup. Wings Up, who we saw do some great work at a ESL Challenger LAN event last year, versus Fire Esports, who we've covered both, I believe, before. And I remember Shandarez is always a very high quality player. Let's see how they play today.
Yeah, definitely familiar with some of the names over on the Fire side. Not sure if I've covered all 5 of them, but I have now. B-Rush coming in. This is just a straight up push into the molly even, which does dish out quite a bit of damage. A decent trade, though, from Shandarez. The man you mentioned gets himself a second as well. Okay, should give them the room to perhaps get this bomb planted, although it's dropped out in the open, kind of delaying things a little bit. Ooh. And because of that, they've decided instead to just see if they can take some of these fights. Decent 1D lands, but Gas creeping his way up short already. They aren't actually watching for this at all, it doesn't look like. No, Zingy completely caught off guard. Gas now left alone and on the... Sanj left alone and on the bomb site, and it is Lan as that smoke fades towards the door that's able to take him out. A solid retake, but a lot of damage considering it was just pistols and I think body armor and such that they actually had in play there on that T side. Without the bomb plant, though, it leaves them in a slightly awkward position.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Fire Esports did win the first... couple of rounds. I think it was 3-1, I think, to them, if I believe, when we hopped in.
Was,
obviously, we had to go through the process, obviously getting a little bit of an introduction to these two. So it's not too crazy. But yeah, if anyone's here for NKT, I'm afraid, if you're a supporter, you've got to win. So it's fine. If you wanted to watch them, I'm afraid it's a forfeit win. So we're going live with Wings Up versus Fire Esports. 3-all, good point to join it after those pistols were eaten up by Wings Up. And now Fire Esports with their buy. 3 Galils, 2 AKs. Very limited utility though, and flying will catch Zingy's aggression in toward ladder room. So an early opening pick. Gas under pressure from Sanj in connector. Needs to be aware of it and spots an arm. And that's 2 opening frags for them now.
Just been whittled away at right now. Husky taking a ton of damage as well. It looks like there's actually 2 of them about to potentially swing in from short as Marek is being called through to assist. It's a struggle fight, but he will eventually get the headshot, and that's the bomb even dropped back towards connector, which has just completely ruined any hope of this A push having success. Ace wants to at least try and make it costly. The Galil in hand, it's not ideal. The op pinned in the corner. Ooh, jumps up on the box. Okay. Wasn't expected by the op, as you could see the shot was missed. Unfortunately, still not able to get the drop and get the kill. Flying's watching for the cross as well and should have it. There we go, with the damage that had already been done. It's 4-3 for Wings Up. Definitely look to be the favourites coming into this series and are getting off to a pretty solid start here after initially, as we said, going down 3-1. Probably 3-0, but we aren't 100% sure as we weren't here.
Yeah. It's a slightly late join up, but I can assure you that overall you have not missed much.
It was that or nothing, because their other game got forfeited after this.
Exactly. We decided we could have skived off work today and said, listen, it's a forfeit game, guys. We've got no cast for you, but no, we want Counter-Strike action, and you know what? We're going to get it. In come the Tech 9s toward a water falling out of Palace, but it's a beautiful cleanup from Gas and Child King, and that's just Husky last alive with that Tech 9. He's about to be swarmed upon by 2 players. Flying will get that last frag. 5-3 for Wings Up. And this is a map, of course, we saw them do some great work on, I believe, against OG in that ESL Challenger event. I think it was ESL Challenger Melbourne last year, if I'm not mistaken, from memory. And they had a great win there and proved to be a very difficult team to play against and talented players on that roster. Of course, LAN on LAN proved to be a quality meme for a little while. Very well. But Fire Esports will also have got those 2 wins in Challenger League so far this season, so they're no easy team to beat. And Gas will go aggressive into mid, as Chandra has played around with that smoke or the bottom of connector, but Sanj at least does get one back, removes Gas from the equation, so it's 2v3, not impossible.
I love how aggressive Wings Up are playing, though, just wanting to get in Fire's face in there and stopping with it either. This could be dangerous. He's bypassed the player at top mid there, I believe. Child King has no idea. I am correct, right? That's not the HUD being weird or anything. Because it says Ace is alive. Is he timed out? Oh no, he's moving. There we go.
There we go. I was just
It looked like he was timed out potentially. Not even Delpan. He was just at top mid behind the boxes, I believe.
Right,
and Child King pushed up and walked in around without being spotted. So that's going to give him the flank on the bomb carrier, which really shouldn't be expected at all. But also with the player now pushing up connector itself, it gives them 2 avenues of attack. But it's too late. Yeah, that flank going to drop the bomb. Now with that, they can fully focus in towards connector, knowing he's not around ramp anyway. Could, in theory, maybe be in towards Palace. But it looks like they have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Yeah, this one should be sorted out. Ace up towards stairs, but Lan is looking for it, and he flicks up nicely. So 6-3. It was definitely 3-1. That's when we joined in, of course, a little bit late due to the MungYu Esports forfeit. I see some MungYu fans in chat. I'm sorry, you're not going to get to see your team play. But that's just the way of the world, it seems to be this season. You only had one game you've actually played, and it was a 2-0 defeat. Hopefully they can sort out the issues and at least play a couple more times to avoid automatic relegation, at least. Could be a chance to still do that.
Difficult at this point. 0-4, I believe they're sitting at.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So they need to win one game and hope Drift LNS, the other team, one of the other teams in this group, don't win a single game, basically. So it would definitely be difficult.
Race to the bottom. Bit of a pause, rather. Likely a half buy to come in after this pause. Pistols, Kevlar, bit of utility. Can't quite get everything. I'm presuming we're in a technical at this point.
I think so.
Loco. We caused it as soon as we joined them. Or bad luck for the games. Flying's yet to buy, so I was thinking maybe he's the one with the issues, but the entire T side hasn't really done anything yet, just by having enough to get pistols and everything, so.
I've just had some information from our admin, Dean. Looks like NKT actually are playing.
Oh, they are?
MungYu managed to figure it out. So, confirmation, guys. Just had the message from the admin that NKT are actually playing, but logically, it would not make sense to switch back off this game after we've actually started this one properly, so
No.
Apologies for that. I can assure you that NKT are probably huge favourites to take that one. But yeah, just to
assure them
reiterate
that they're probably huge favourites. You're not it's too confident, so just
yeah, I just wanted to confirm for you guys. I believe they're about to start Vertigo, and as I said, just got that message from the admin. Just want to reiterate for any NKT fans, they are actually playing that game against MungYu, as far as I understand. So just got that message through. Flying, he's got the message that they're flying through underpass. Chandra is and Asex got themselves a couple.
oh come on.
In the end, we'll clean them up
Over the ace.
beautifully.
Might have a shot flanking mid, but it's instead Gas who gets that kill over the nice little one-way smoke towards under. They look so confident right now, and they all look so crisp individually as well. I mean, those the initial two kills towards underpass for Flying, that can be very, very scary to deal with, and he handled it very well, especially with the A1S.
Yeah, absolutely. 20 bullets, not as powerful, of course, anymore Comes to
And as you
damage,
said
long
yesterday,
range.
the lower fire rate when you have two players moving that quick down under, it can
True.
be difficult to get that transfer, but he made it look easy.
It's hard to track, yeah. Sure.
Oh, they're so loaded already. Look at that economy.
Yeah, that's the issue. All the rounds in a row that they've won from 3-1 to 7-3. Smoke in toward window. Force flying away actually for now as Fire Esports work their way through mid and up mid. And then I'll throw that smoke toward the bottom of connector. Sanj actually could catch off Gas and underpass here. Oh, you lucky little rascal. How is Gas alive? Not going to be alive for much longer. Shandares has come in to finish off that frag.
Yeah, and this looks to be, at least since we've joined, one of the first times that Fire have been able to get an early advantage for themselves, and hopefully now capitalise and turn it into a round win. They are going to bring things towards A. I like the response with Child King and Flying both aggressive in towards ramp, although Flying's going to fall back a bit towards the bomb site as I say that, which is probably the correct idea considering the split that's coming in. You've got to have a bit of faith here that Child King can hopefully get the one kill and steal away the bomb in on ramp. That's all he's going to need to find, and if they can at least delay and do some damage as this connector push comes in as well, then they'll be in a good position as Child King had the read. New ace was coming in from Palace, unfortunately couldn't get more than the one. A trade back elsewhere though keeps them in this fight, and look at the time. They have to force Flying out of position, and sure, he can't do anything about stopping that bomb plant, and that's exactly what they did with the molly. Unfortunately, there is no escape for Husky.
Yeah, 2 versus 3 now. Shandares has to go aggressive to try and get a pick back, but even though he does, unfortunately for him now, he's the only one left and he's out of ammunition in the AK. Has to go to the Glock, and then he's swarmed upon by Flying. And that is a nice recovery once again. 8-3. That's 7 rounds in a row now.
Three. It's getting a bit out of hand to say the least for Fire here. At the very least, they can keep on buying as the bombs are going down, and they tend to be getting quite a few kills, at least over these past couple rounds. Not enough to really put a dent in the economy though of Wings Up. Only Gas is left kind of lowish with 2,550.
Yep. Zingy is proving to be the utility man in this round, juggling the smokes around.
Straight into this A execute as well. It's a very early call. I mean, there's going to be a ton of mollies, nades, smokes that can go down here and slow them and potentially do a ton of damage.
Yep, and they come. Sanj looking to go for it. I think he knows that Child King's underneath Valk right now, trying to at least get one kill, and actually he goes super far forward and deals with Gas towards stairs already. Sanj going to go aggressive past the triple box, and Child King is somehow still alive on 20 HP. How he's got 2 kills from that position, I don't know, and Zingy actually answers back with 2 of his own. So with that smoke up towards CT, they're safe from that rotation. Marek coming in. 2 versus 2, back in action, and Zingy still has position toward this triple box, looking for Gas, and he takes him out beautifully. It's Flying, I should say. Now it's only down to Marek, and Shandares catches him, jumping up on ticket box, and that will be Fire Esports stopping the rot.
Well, damn. I mean, it didn't look like that was going to be the round they'd done it in either. I mean, initially they had a decent start with the entry, but once it got turned around by the play from under Palace, I think it was a 4-on-2 even, potentially, for a moment. Zingy, he stepped up when it was necessary, and now, I mean, what, 2, maybe 3 more rounds in total are, of course, available. If they can get to 2 of them, that'll probably break the economy for Wings Up and give them a slightly easier shot at maybe even going up towards 7, so they could still have a pretty solid half here. It's just going to be a tall order for them to actually get it. Back into something more standard with the mid control here, though.
Gas. Incendiary to the bottom of connector. Going around the smoke for now. Flying. Ooh, could be about to get caught by Zingy, and he will be. Gas looking to defend even further, and he survives on 22 HP. 3 players coming his way, and I'm amazed he's still alive. The Molotov towards short might protect them a little bit longer, and Zingy hits a lovely shot toward Lan. Triple protection now, not anymore, and Child King under back once again is doubling up. And he doesn't even know where Asex is jumping on top of him. But now Marak's in a very good position, playing the headshot angle, and he taps away calmly at Asex. And Wings Up will just about glean their 9th. Close round, close 1v1, quickfire trades in Conan on A. In the end, it goes the CT side's way.
Yeah, just back into the rhythm again for Wings Up. Had a little bit of a hiccup, but that's all. And if they win out this round, the economy, although the loss bonus is there without a bomb plant, things would be a little bit iffy in terms of the buy for Fire going into the next and final round of the half. So for Fire, it's kind of all in here. They need to ideally take this and aim to get a 6th round off the back of it. A quicker B play. They had a little bit of success earlier when they tried this with at least some entries and such being taken. The problem is, this time around they're spotted early on. They're slowed by the mollies and the nades and just torn apart before they can get any sort of footing on B. As I say that though, eventually Ace pulled back 2 kills and Shinderas had found one on the lurk as well. So they've got a 2-on-2.
Yeah, again, this is another round they've pulled back into a close situation, but it seems like Wings Up always figure these ones out. Now Shandares needs to clutch, goes aggressive with the A1S, but he takes so long to get that first frag. He was out of bullets anyway. And Child King would have had plenty of time to finish that off, but he was on the scene anyway, in good time. And he figures it out. So that's double digits for Wings Up. 10-4, last round of the half coming in. And at least for Fire Esports' sake, they do have a buy thanks to that bomb plant. Be able to get the AWP out as well. Not too bad. And yeah, just to confirm again for any fans in chat who are looking to maybe watch NKT and MungYu Esports, that game is going ahead officially now. Of course, we thought it would be a forfeit loss for MungYu for a good half an hour. That's why we switched over to this game. A game which is actually higher up in the league standings overall. Both these teams have 2 wins. We'll try and reach that 9-point mark. But yeah, just to confirm, that game is going ahead and it is not a forfeit win. And NKT will have to put in some work to get their win today, which should still come through. They are the heavy favourites for that game.
Yeah, I don't think they'll struggle too much, but we'll have to definitely keep an eye on it whenever we get a chance as this game goes on as well. Shinderas, despite being blinded up a bit and taking a dink, still manages to win out that fight. The benefits of the AK. I guess more the drawbacks of the M4. But a solid advantage. Let's see. What's the plan? They don't have great utility behind it. Shinderas is obviously barely alive as well. So they just want to try and group and use this numbers advantage. They have left Sanj though to lurk in around mid. He's in a good position to potentially cut off this short rotation. The problem is they need to move quick because there's already B apps aggression that's come in and confirmed that it's most likely this A hit.
Yeah, let's see. Shandares, as you mentioned, with that AWP on low HP, won't matter too much. Now he can post up, and there you go. That's the way to do it. Gets the quick fire trade, but guess what? They know Child King is here. He's had so much success playing under Balk, and this time, none. Sanj is lurking under. Deals with flying comfortably. So it's Marek 1 versus 4. It's a dink and actually catches Husky. And look at these low HP players he has to fight, but luckily for Fire Esports, it's Asex to take the first duel, and he was the one who was healthy, so no worries. It's a 10-5 half, leaves it up for judgment as to who will take it. We're going to go to a quick break. When we're back, second half. 11 is the magic number, seemingly, in this game. Not for the scoreboard, but for all the kills at the moment. 4 players on the Wings Up side on 11 kills, and actually 2 on the Far Esports side with 11 as well. 6 players in the server, 66 kills between them. Let's see who finishes on top in the second half. It's Wings Up on T side with a 10-5 lead, Dean.
Yeah, but there was a bit of hope, I think, shining through towards the end of the half for Fire. So if they can get off to a solid start, if they can take this pistol round, then there is still some faith that they can make this a competitive game. Problem is the smoke's down on A already, but they do have a response to stop the CT push from coming in, to stop the T's from gaining on the actual ground, to play out the after plant as a team kill even comes in. But they're still somehow turning it back around. Flying getting himself 2. The dual Berettas are going to come through as well, and it's all onto Ace now in a 1-on-2. Oh, what a shot on Marek, though, as he drops it into a 1-on-1, and Flying doesn't even have Kevlar.
This is very interesting now. Flying can pick up the bomb, but obviously he doesn't know if Acex has gone for a big rotation just yet. Holding a very defensive angle towards CT, and he just looks away, but the shots are missed. Back was turned, always very difficult to hit. They'll decide to commit to the bomb plant for that extra cash. Ace will now hold that line. Flying, playing around with this position, and Ace gets it sorted. What a clutch that is from Ace. And that could be incredibly impactful in this game. Pissed around in their favour. 6 rounds on the board. And a chance for a little mini comeback.
Off the back of a huge clutch. Big individual plays, but really how they managed to get some sort of footing in that previous half as well. So they clearly have the individuals. Just need to start finding some momentum here and actually chaining together a few rounds. As bar the 3 initially, which we didn't really get to see. Just haven't really been able to do it. Straight towards an A play again, it looks like. A little bit of presence being sent over towards the B apps, but seems like they want to go into an A execute almost directly here. They have gone heavy on Galil's.
This would be the way to go. You lose the pistol and go heavy on the Galils to try and hit back instantly. But with the AWP in play for Zingy, a chance to help with that. But that's a really well placed Molotov. Pushes him off the angle for now. And the advance of Wings Up with these Galils is way too much for Fire Esports to handle. The AWP's missed a shot. He has to be forced away. Now Sandra with the FAMAS, he wants to go aggressive, but he's heard at the last second, and that's when the next Galil pounces. The techno of Marek catches Ace, crossing in towards CT, and the hit back is instantaneous. Wings up to 11.
Yeah, sort of heartbreaking, to say the least. Fire's economy is ruined off the back of that. They're going to obviously force buy up because they only had the 1400, but it's Deagles and Kevlar. In Shandera's case, it's dual Berettas, which are an interesting choice. You don't normally see them outside the actual pistol round. Let's see how effective they'll be here with Kevlar and all in play. Again, though, straight over towards A. Tried and tested, I suppose, over the past couple of rounds. It can be dangerous, though. As you can see, they're getting caught up around Tetris a little bit here, hoping, I guess, for some mistakes to be made. And so far, they are doing a pretty good job at punishing the peaks as they do eventually come true. No casualties as of yet. The last player in towards jungle about to be spotted and finished off. What a shot! What the hell, man? He should not have been the one getting that kill, but okay.
Man. There were so many players just jumping around the A site, and in the end, Lan just spinning on the top and got 3 of them in the end, even though a lot of them were low HP. Overkill with the AWP. Nice to watch, though.
I'm getting, like, extra sound. Am I crazy?
Mine's okay. So is Gas. Flying away with the Galil. That's about right.
Yeah, we were still in the freeze time, and I had AKs being shot and everything on my sound, so I was like, what the hell's going on?
We've figured out the mystery. Ace lost alive with the P250. Marek will collect the one for Wings Up. As I said, this is the map that they've always been very comfortable going toward, historically. Even in bigger events too, I'm sure a lot of people might remember that game against OG. Might be one kill here for Ace. No, gets caught by Lan. Unlucky. Now the comeback has to start from here. And even now, if it does, the buy isn't going to be amazing for Fire Esports. They're going to be AWPless. Shandaras can only really afford an M4 and Kevlar. On smoke, not great.
Yeah, and a reminder, since we didn't really get to break the veto down before this game, this is the map choice of Fire, with Nuke coming up next as Wings Up, as the choice of Wings Up, rather. It could definitely be leading towards a 2-0 here if Fire can't turn things around incredibly soon. And, well, let's see. They definitely have some confidence in them coming into this first proper gun round as they charge 3 players up mid. Marek alongside one other, though, ready to try and hold off for this one as we end up on Virgo. What has happened? There we go.
We've got a little sneak
Swapping between
preview of what
games.
we're doing in a second, guys. We've got a little sneak preview.
When the observer's too hyped.
The
Yeah.
observer's too excited for
watches
what he's
someone
got
on a
planned
different
for
map.
us. Yeah.
I was confused. I was like, this doesn't look like Mirage.
Looked away for a split second at the second monitor and came back and I was like, where am I? Gas and flying in position. Throwing their utility. Husky will realise what is going on. A little right click smoke to defend against that. Maybe push further forward off the back of it. Bomb is coming out toward A right now. Sharkin will go aggressive past that smoke, but Husky gets both of them in the end. That smoke was maybe lulling Wings Up into going for that sort of play. Going straight through that, but in the end they get absolutely nothing. And flying has left him mid with just that Galil. Had a good game so far, but the bomb's in the open. You need to get a number of kills in the back, but Zingy swings, takes the frag. Flying could only get the 1. And that's 7 now for Fire Esports. Good round to win.
Yeah, they're managing to keep it scrappy with the rounds every now and again, but again, we need to see it all clicking together, which just hasn't been happening so far. Zingy's playing a really good game, as is Ace. Individually, though, the kills make you feel like it should probably be a little bit closer. There has been a good few close rounds. I don't think that nade's going to really land any
In
damage.
the first half. Like what, 3 2v2s, maybe more?
A lot of situations they shouldn't have had one. As Shandera's just about gets that smoke down rather in time, which will allow him to cross back to the bomb site. Unfortunately, that is read by Gas, who comes out with the trade. Lan, in the meantime, had found himself a bit of success, and that should give room for the bomb now to be planted.
Oh, 3. I think he needs this frag, but Marek just hops away with his life. Right click smoke might give Zingy a chance to progress past triple. Flying is here. Sanj trying to get baited in, but not going to happen. Quick trades. Gas gets another, and that's just Zingy. And he's kitless in this situation. He has managed to pick one up, though, so this gives him a slight glimmer of hope. He doesn't necessarily have a smoke for the bomb, so that is the biggest issue. Lan can now play with this position. He's caught in the open. There's no time left anymore. And Lan gets the frag. 21-9 for Lan, looking very good. And Wings Up now double the score of Fire Esports.
Oh, they're screwed. One eco play for the overtime, that looks like maybe the more likely scenario, but I wouldn't blame them if they just force up here and hope to somehow pull off a miracle round and maybe kick off the comeback just a little bit earlier. Resuming just the tactical that we have, yeah. Fire deciding what they want to do. Deagle dropped over, just pistols it looks like. Yeah, they're going to actually take the eco. Kind of surprising, but I mean, at the very least, getting some gun rounds in play here on the CT side is a big positive. So if they could win it at the very least, like 2 or 3 gun rounds, get something going before moving forward the nuke, that would be a nice find.
Indeed. I think you guys hopefully saw what we just saw. That is the game, of course, we were meant to be covering. So a little sneak preview at that. We'll have a quick look at that, I believe, and if this game comes to an end pretty quickly. You want to give a quick go at that one, Kai? I'm sure we can hop onto that for a split second. Oh, the bomb's going to be planted without checking the site properly. That's a bit of an oversight here for Gas. We'll get that frag, and then Shandares actually catches Lan, trying to force his way through Murder Hole, but King was always going to trade it. He was sitting in ladder ready and raring to go. So map point for Wings Up.
Yeah. So it's going to be a rough 8 in a row needed for Fire if they want to take it towards an overtime, and I don't even think we've really seen them manage 2 in a row. So definitely have the odds stacked against them. That's unfortunate. Zingy did make the short jump, just ended up completely blind and left in the open exposed. I like the initiative that he tried to take. Husky, maybe not as much. I don't think that connector push was really all that necessary, as they are now getting picked apart. It's a short push that came in. They've got the B-bomb site in the meantime, and I don't think Sanj on the rotate is really going to have much to say about it, as he's locked back in the kitchen and spotted by Flying.
Yeah. Shandares, 1v3. No kit available. Now they know where it's coming from. Information heard. Lam's got the line with the AWP. Ooh, destroyed by Shandares, but unfortunately he's been tagged by the AWP. So 12 HP. He'll be walking to Marek, and there's the headshot. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for Wings Up on Mirage, as we kind of expected. And they will be a map away from getting their 3rd win in this one in the ECL Season 45. So we were meant to cast a different game before this one, Dean. We're just trying to get ourselves a little quick look at that one, because we were meant to do NKT versus MungYu Esports, and we didn't actually get a chance to see any of that because it took them about half an hour, maybe even more, to actually get that game started, which is why we switched to this matchup. And as far as I understand, NKT are currently 5-1 up right now on Vertigo, so that game is going ahead. And I believe at some point during a break, maybe later on, aha, look at this. Oh my goodness. Magic of the production team. Look at this. On the VMix, we've got a game on our screen. NKT 4-2 up. So this is just a slight glimmer of what we would have seen earlier, basically. So some of the fans in chat that wanted to see NKT and MungYu, we made this for you. And huge props for sorting this one out. Have a little quick look at this game, and when this round ends, I think we'll throw to a break. But I wanted at least you to see exactly what's going on. This is only the first map, so you haven't missed much anyway. As you can see, it's now 50 minutes past 1 p.m. in the UK, and it was of course meant to start at 1 p.m. So that's why we switched to the other game. But it looks like the bomb has exploded, and MungYu have won another round, which is pretty cool to see. But yeah, anyway, for now, I think we're gonna go to a little bit of a break, and when we're back, we'll be going live for map 2 of the Wings Up Fire Esports game. So don't go anywhere, guys.
break up, don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit rewind. How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, but you're holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than your rescue? I'm feeling kinda used, yeah, like a drug that you take when you're sick of crying all your tears away. Is that all I am? All I want is for you to be happy. You know this ain't healthy. Do I make you happy? How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and it's blurring your vision. You know he don't love you, what you holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue? I'm doing everything he doesn't do, but I'm still not enough. Even your parents know I'm good for you, but I'm still not enough. You wanna be done with him, you're stuck with him, 'cause you don't have the guts. And after all I've done, I'm still not enough. Still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than your rescue?
Welcome back, guys, to Wings Up versus Fire Esports. I hope you enjoyed the little picture-in-picture gameplay there of NKT's matchup, which we were, of course, meant to cover earlier. That is sorted out by our lovely production man, Kai. But map 2, Wings Up, 1 map up, 16-7. They won map 1 on Mirage. Now it's Nuke Dean to see if Fire Esports can hit back.
Yeah, and it has not started off in a fantastic way at all. A single trade back from Ace there on ramp. Unfortunately, in the meantime, they have actually straight up lost, I think, the B bomb site. Yeah, they brought it down the vent in the end. 12 King in a good position to cut off the low health rotation as well. And, well, they actually have the info of that Ace was over towards ramp, so they can just plant it here on this A bomb site pretty securely. With the heaven control as well, meaning this retake is damn near impossible. Oh, and he didn't even see land as he came back in towards hell. So there you have it. The initial pistol round goes the way of Wings Up, and on this T side as well. It's a scary position for Fire to be put in.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that Wings Up are probably the better team, a more well-known team between these two. It's not really much up for debate, but they are both on that 6-point mark in the league so far. Fire Esports have played one more game. They are 2-1, whereas Wings Up are unbeaten at 2-0, so it's an opportunity for one of these two teams to reach that 9-point mark, which a mark that NKT probably will get to. Yeah, it's interesting to see that Fire Esports actually going for the full eco. I'd say full eco, sort of half eco in this round. They haven't got a single set of Kevlar, so just going for one of the pistols to play these headshot positions. See if they can get some damage done, but Wings Up already, you've got that opening frag.
Yeah, as you said though, they did actually invest quite a bit, so they'd be looking at a similar enough buy with just a few pistols most likely in the following round as well, so they've got to make this worthwhile, and unfortunately that's not happening. No damage as of yet being outputted. Shinderas very quickly shuts me up as he takes the head of gas, but really there shouldn't be much more in terms of frags coming, and there's absolutely no way they're winning the round anymore as the bomb's been planted. So yeah, it's a weird position to have put themselves in. The 2400 loss bonus won't give them an amazing buy here if they want to try and force things up. They might risk it though. You might see some FAMASs and such, maybe some MP9s even being pulled out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? I mean, look at their money now. They're sort of putting themselves in a position. You know what's up with Wings Up in this game, by the way. They were shooting a body like all of warm-up before this map started, and every single time the round's finished, they've shot every single body every single time. I don't know if they're looking to get some extra BM in or something, or some trolling, but either way. But yeah, they actually do exactly what you were going to say, Dean. They actually invest in 2 FAMASs, and they can be the ones that can invest into the utility. So fair enough. 3 M4s and 2 FAMASs, not the end of the world.
Yeah, but there's so little utility. There's no kits either. It's a dangerous position in this initial gun round here. If they lose this, Wings Up head up 4-0 and things just get completely out of control. So it is a very important swing round for Fire. They've already lost full ramp control. It was a good call, obviously, for Husky to fall back off down towards B and not let himself be overrun, because then they likely would have lost B already. But they still do give up so much control around ramp, and that's going to limit their info as to what's going on. And it looks like Wings Up just want to regroup back in towards lobby and maybe make this a quick enough A hit.
Nade.
Didn't really land any damage, surprisingly.
No, you'd think it would do a bit more than that. Flying also is just playing this default position on silo, waiting for any outside aggression, to see if he can spot anything long range. I think he is lurking around garage, but he's got a teammate pushing a little bit further up, and now they're a bit wary, of course, of ramp. They actually did leave that open because Asex has been forced down all the way through to the site itself, and now he's in a very difficult position actually to get to even multi-frag from here. He will get the first, but he needs to get traded, and actually the silencer actually helped him out, I think, there. Gas didn't know where his teammate was getting shot from, so he does go 2 for 1, but even a 3v4 on this site with no kit for Fire Esports is very hard to recover.
Looks like they do want to try and move in, of course, for it, though. Unfortunately, it's not really all that coordinated, at least not the initial peak. Zingy will do a good job of refragging land. They have seemingly to read that Marek is in towards Dark, as you can see, so they're getting some effective trades, but the problem is the time's ticking away. They have to stick that bomb, and Husky will just fully rely on his teammate to finish off the final kill, and he will be able to do so, but without the kit, it's a close one, just about getting the defuse in. That was incredibly close. If he got out that door and got the kill on the Husky, that would have been it done.
Yep. The protection from the teammate means that Fire Esports will get that first round on the board. Very impactful. Even if you only have that one frag for the next 3 or 4 rounds, it's a frag that basically guaranteed your team a round win. Flying, trying to make his way through that fire in that smoke, and they help with the flashbang from Lan. It works out brilliantly for him. Even though he took all that damage, the MVP flash from Lan is insane. You'll actually get stopped, Lan, through that smoke as that Molotov is thrown. Shandara is just firing through with no traces, of course, with that silenced M4. And it's another retake, but this time they have 3 kits.
3 of them moving in from heaven as well, it looks like. And then 1 from main. There is at least a little bit of a one-way smoke here that should make them piling out of heaven a little bit easier. 1 back towards the CT vent, so it's a crossfire they need to initially deal with, and it's a struggle, as you can see. They do manage to trade effectively, though, down into the one-on-one. Shantara is even taking a little bit of fall damage, and he just wants to stick this. Marek has no idea. He does, about just pushing time.
Wow.
I wasn't too sure if he had a great position for that one, honestly. He makes it work 3-1.
That was squeaky. That sorts it out.
Literally.
Just about.
Yeah, I mean, Fire, they went out 1 round, but they only done it with, I believe, the 3 players alive, and had barely been able to afford to buy into that round itself, so there was nothing left over. There's nothing left over here. There's a Zeus and some pistols brought into play, but that is all. Wings Up should be heading up 4-1. And even then, I don't think the buy is going to be all that great in the following round for Fire either. Guilty and such might be a little bit limited as they get cleaned up by Mac 10s. That's really worst case scenario, just feeding the economy of Wings Up.
Yeah, I think he's just charging through that smoke to try and stop a bomb plant. That's never going to happen. Of course, one thing that could be a very, very slight silver lining for Fire Esports is the fact that in that round, Wings Up knew that the pistols were coming in, so they brought up a couple of Mac 10s and an MP5 too. So they have only kept one of those Mac 10s and that MP5, but still. It's to lesser weaponry, so you know.
I was going to say, I think we might see something maybe a little bit quicker in towards ramp again. They had success when they went there earlier on, and especially with the 2 SMGs. That could be a solid call, although out A again, although looks to be the play. Flying as he did before, waiting in that smoke for the flash to come true, and he just about gets the kill on Shandares. Sanj was cautious of it, though, after what had happened previously. So at the very least, the trade did come in. Ace in on the left side is heavily committed to this angle. It's the MP5 that wears him down. And the B bomb site itself now should be open for the taking. The rotation's only now beginning to kind of budge, and I think they're even then somewhat considering perhaps even a save, although I think that kill's going to push them to go for it.
For sure. 3 versus 3, and with Lan low HP, they'll get that M4 upgrade, but still. 2 AKs and that M4. Boost above the smoke, that's a great idea, but in the end it's spotted. That makes the situation pretty impossible. Lan fakes the fact he's gone through the door back toward the site, though. He shifted away, but he's been seen. He took an extra bullet there in the foot. And now it's down to Child King, really. Low HP player goes in first. Husky needs to trade it, but he can't. Great hold from Child King. 3 kills on the round for him. Up to 9 in the game. And that's 5 on the board for Wings Up.
Back to the half buy again. We knew it could be a struggle here on Nuke, considering Mirage, their own map choice, was so tough, but yeah, Fire really are not really finding any footing at all in the early stages of this game, which is worrying, because it's not going to get any easier as it goes on. Zingy, I'm not too sure. He got a bit too adventurous there on ramp on his own, just pushing straight in. did have Ace doubled up ramp with him as well, so it's a bit surprising they didn't play off of each other, at least push it together if they were going to go for it. Maybe get the lobby crunch from elsewhere. That wasn't the play though, and as a couple of kills are found on the back of those pistols and the weaker weapons in general, it's just not really enough to give them a shot at winning the round. The bomb's going to be planted. Ace has Kevlar that could maybe even worth considered saving rather, but with the loss bonus he doesn't really seem too bothered, although 49.50 it would have helped to get the full nades, make sure there's kits and such in play. But it doesn't matter either way, they're coming into a gun round now that they have to win, otherwise it's just, they're screwed. This T side is already really strong for Wings Up.
Yeah, this is a must-win buy round. Zingy on the AWP. Utility is good, so this is a chance for them to get a bit of a handle hold. Will they change up? They go a bit more aggressive towards Squeaky, maybe go for a late mid-round lobby crunch. They lose some numbers. Oh my goodness, Wings Up. You've taken so much damage to this fire and flames, but you still get an entry. Lamb with 14 HP gets that frag anyway. And Gas and Child King pretty sure just ran through that Molotov in ramp, taking control of it, but for a lot of their health, A6 is actually going back up to check it, but Marek spotted it and flicked to his head. How are they getting away with this? I do not know. 5 versus 3, and I reckon Fire Esports are going to have to save despite all this damage.
Yeah, I mean, if they were truly aware of how much damage they had done here, I think they'd probably go for it, because, I mean, it's still not going to be easy to win, sure, but they're in desperate times. Unfortunately, a 3-on-5, normally you look at it, especially on that B bomb site, and say no chance, there's no way we're even attempting the retake, so that is why they have begun to back away. At the very least, they'll have the weaponry to work with, but it's 7-1 already for Wings Up on this T side. They have a ridiculous economy as they're going to survive with 5 players, most likely here again. Seems like we're on track for a very quick game here, potentially. We thought NKT versus MungYu? Is that the name again? I'm trying to remember their name. Yeah, MungYu. Correct. We thought that was going to be the fast game out of the two that were in the kind of schedule for today. So we were like, okay, yeah, we wanted to see NKT, but once we thought that game was going to be the forfeit, we were like, at least we should have potentially a competitive game that we can swap to now. But no, that is not the case, Travis.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Because obviously you look at the league standings, right? You look at their previous results. You look at the round win-loss record, for example, even digging as deep as that, and you think to yourself, okay, well, both of these guys are on 2 wins. This game could be pretty close. But I think you have to look at who they've played as well. And I think Fire Esports have had a couple of games against teams where, actually, to be fair, you'd expect them to do well. Their only loss was against Mongols, of course, and Mongols are a team that are going to the major, so one of the best teams in this league in its entirety. Oh my goodness. Again, tons of damage. Gas tagged down to 4, but Child King helps him out to get that, and Shandarez will finally tap down Marek outside. And it keeps this round as a possibility, but just again, you're in a situation where you have to retake, and Fire Esports can't rely on retakes on Nuke. They're so hard to figure out. And if you think about it, right, the only round they've won was that 2v1 where the teammate held his friend holding the defuse. So, yeah, that's the issue. There are 2 very low HP players, so this could be a way in. 1 bullet needed, and Sanj gets it with the USP. So here we go. 3v2. Kit on Zingy, and Haski's destroyed Child King. Now there's a chance. It's flying 1 versus 3, and now they know exactly where he is. The Kit player has been tagged. He's actually not the one on the bomb, I tell a lie. Sam just picked up that kit, and he's on it, and they get the kill anyway. So, no worries. They figure it out this time. And finally, a second retake goes their way. 7-2.
Alright, welcome back. It was a solid retake as well, I've got to say.
Agreed.
But again, is that something they can replicate? It just seems like Wings Up are, in most cases anyway, managing to trade a little bit more effectively, and even then they at least got the bomb down in that round to beef up an economy that was already ridiculously strong. So it means Wings Up are keeping these buys coming, they're keeping the pressure on, and there is completely blinded, thought he was in the smoke, I believe. Unfortunately, taking one step too far. Zingy down in secret, in a good position to hopefully take the shots and fade away. Unfortunately, as he tries for a second, he will be overrun. That's the B-bomb site again up for the taking. Sanj is going to go for this late secret flank at least, and he has a rotation already coming down ramp, but I don't think that flank can do much quite yet. They may have to slow it down and hope that the retake will work out. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. They're not even going to get their numbers anywhere near the site. Didn't expect the second. Oh, never mind. Heard the steps early. If Husky stayed quiet, he probably would have had the drop on him there.
Maybe. Internal clock of Child King perhaps though reacted to that one as well. There was a one step made, as you say. But a very quick reaction. And Flying is holding for the fullback as well. And once again, insistent on shooting bodies. I'm not sure why. Maybe there's some internal beef that we don't know about. Who knows? Maybe they're just having fun. Maybe there's nothing behind it whatsoever. But they have a confirmed lead on the half now. 8-2. At least an 8-7 and probably a lot more at this stage.
I think it's just kind of carefree at this point with how straightforward this matchup has been for them. Wings Up, definitely one of the favourites overall. I'd love to see them against the likes of NKT. Put them to a test. Oh! Actually did land the collateral. Gassed and ate a nade to half his health again from 14 to 7. So he's not having a good time. But a little bit of success found elsewhere here for Wings Up as they overrun the ramp defender. I was going to say, it looks like one player is fully committing. They're not all going for it though. Just hoping to pull the CTs out of position and make this defense as spread out as they possibly can. And, well, again, dealing with the player down on the lower bomb site, spotting the rotation down the vent, but not expecting Sanj to have already got himself into position. And look at the damage now that's done as well. This is another very winnable retake. Indeed.
Gaston's got that up, though. Low HP won't matter as much. And, again, kitless at the moment. Not sure if there's one on the ground that they can find. And now Child King, or the flank. Oh, it's spotted by Sanj. That could have easily worked out for both kills there. So now it's Gas holding the line on 7 HP. 7 kills. Will 7 be the lucky number for him? Sanj will tap the bomb, and Gas goes for the swing, and he nails the shot perfectly. 9-2, 4 Wings Up, as we suspected. But the dominance is maybe a little bit more than we suspected.
Yeah, I don't the Chinese actually see number 7 as a lucky number? I've heard that somewhere before.
I'll have to look that up, actually. I'll do that right now. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that in the past, so that might be the case. If so, good work. The 7 HP clutch. 9-2 scoreline, though. This is not good. I mean, there's 7 rounds between Fire and Wings Up right now, so we're seeing 7 everywhere as the lobby aggression comes in. They actually finally try to pinch, but even then, it's so discombobulated. I don't know what way they were doing it. The lobby push came in, and they were nearly dead by the time the player actually started pushing ramp in a kind of desperate attempt to help out as the flank comes around from heaven. And well, that's the A-bomb site up for the taking. Pistols and Kevlar, maybe they can get another couple kills, but there should be no round wins.
Okay, according to this graphic, Dean, as Lan looks for this 5-7, he's going to be fine. I'm just waiting for the exit here. Let's see if Jandaras gets something done with this. Could nab a free AWP. Nope, he's ready for it. Anyway, so according to this graphic that I found, in China, there are numbers mean specific things, right? So 1 means only, unity, or whole. 2 means double or harmony. 3 means many, stability. 4 means death, so there's your unlucky number. 5 means me or I. 6 means smooth and good luck. 7 means holiness and mystery. 8 means wealth and success. And 9 means longevity and eternity. Apparently.
Okay, so we weren't quite right. I just heard that the number 7, like,
yeah.
Thought it
7
was
is 7
like
is
my
thus
ma
usually
hates the number
considered to be a
13.
lucky
She
number
thinks
for
it's unlucky.
relationships.
Okay.
Apparently.
You know, we have our own things as well. You know, my ma hates the number 13.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
That sort of
13's a
stuff.
classic one.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, very spooky for some people.
Never been mad on horror movies.
No, me neither.
Difficult to get too afraid by them when you know they're.
Yeah, there's I remember playing a horror game on
Games
like,
can get me, yeah.
I remember playing a horror game on a VR headset, right? And I was the one who had the VR headset on. My friends were sat behind me, and they were the one who got spooked, and I didn't by the jump scares. Maybe I'm just dead inside or something. Who knows?
Jump scares can get me sometimes, but it's like, you know, actual horror, like trying to like, wow, look how graphic this serial killer is or whatever. I'm like, it's a movie.
Yeah, I get you. Fair enough. Anyway, 10-2 for Wings Up, looking to make it 11. Shandara's back in his garage spot, and Sharking's going to go for this strafe outside. An interesting strategy to sometimes get that flank toward Hell. Shandara's is aware of that possibility. He was giving that one a quick glance, and he does find gas, so there you go. His brain was switched on for that one, but Marika's always going to trade that. Sanj in toward main right now, in a bit of strife, I would say. In that cubby, could be about to be cleared out properly. 35 seconds to go though. Wings Up need to make a decision, and they haven't really pushed too far forward in their outside angles. They've got this lurk coming in toward Heaven. Child King is there, and they might not expect that. But Husky is giving it a glance every now and then, but Child King just swings for it and gets 2 headshots. That first tap was glorious. Made it look so clean and so simple. This nade is going to land on A6's feet as well. Oh my goodness. It doesn't only land on his feet, it hits him right in the groin as well. 14 HP to spare. So much damage done, and it might have to be Zingy in this retake, but he misses the shot on Child King, unfortunately. 20 kills for Child King. Every single one of his teammates on 9, and Child King on 20. It's an interesting scoreboard for sure. It forces Ace to go and save the AK.
Carried up forward in the end there on the T side as well. You said Ace will get his own AK, likely, although he's going to get the drop on a player here. Maybe even the second kill. No, not expecting them to be coming so late out of main at that point already. So, yeah, no weapons being saved, unfortunately, for Fire. And they don't quite have what they need for a buy either. So a half investment, then they'll get one more full gun round, but they're likely already going to be down 12-2. Just trying to stop it from going 12-3. Or 13-2, rather. Hoping for a 12-3.
They're hoping for a 12-3 for sure. Look at that. 21-9-9-9-9. And if we're going by what I searched before, with 9 meaning longevity, then maybe that's the lucky number for Wings Up, that they can finish off this series, maybe even have a very successful season. Oh, flying again. And again, what you mentioned, right? They're doing it with pistols this time. They're trying to at least put some aggression into these scenarios, but Wings Up are so ready for it. In comes Lance, throwing the dualies to his heart's content. Gas gets the final frag, but Flying's 3k was very tasty. 12-2. Buy round coming in. This is a must-win for Fire.
I mean, even with this third round, it's going to be a damn near impossible T-side to make the comeback happen on. Resorting to the double op setup here as well as they come on to the last round. A little bit of a desperation buy you see sometimes, but Nuke is a pretty decent map for the double op setup. Get one outside, get one around ramp maybe. See exactly what the plan is. Child King, alright, catches the drop over onto the hut, and Marek as well. Wrapping around, catches Zingy, I think, trying to push close in towards the door, realizing the site was pretty much gone already. Hoped he could maybe have a decent position to set up for the retake, but that wasn't allowed, and, well, display Shandara's flank on the outside smoke there. He loses his teammate in the meantime, leaving him all alone. Obviously, no saving allowed. He's got to go for it. This is the final round of the half, but he's going to be hunted down before he can do anything. Child King ends the half, 13-2 for Wings Up, and Fire are going to need a miracle now heading into the second half. Before we get there, though, guys, we are going to send it over to a quick break, so stick with us. We'll be back ASAP.
don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit rewind. How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears in his blurry or vision. You know he don't love you, that you're holding on to. Scream through the phone even though he won't listen. So I'm still at your place, trying to make it okay. He's miles away, I'm left hearing you say that you just need someone caring for you. When will you see me more than you rescue? I'm feeling kinda used, yeah, like a drug that you take when you're sick of crying all your tears away. Is that all I am?
3 rounds is all that is required for Wings Up to take their 3rd win of the ESL Challenger League Season 45 in the Asia Division. See if they can sort this one out. Fire Esports have a long way back, and let's see if it can start with this T-pistol round. Gas will get the opening. Sanj tapping away from long range with that P250. And he's still alive, but he's being tagged down to 6 HP, so it's going to have to be ramp where the focus will be. But Zingy doesn't realise that Flying's repositioned into a lovely angle. Sanj gets away with a second kill, though, so back into a 2v2. Surely Flying will get this frag. One body shot needed, but he misses those shots. But Charking is ready and waiting to go. Oh, that shot from Flying was ridiculous. I was about to say Charking was coming up from secret to try and grab that kill, but that flick round to take the second ramp flanker was sick from Flying. Push through the smoke for Child King. They're all charging through with the pistols, and even though there's some team damage, it means Naut. Gas with a couple more frags. There's a Bison in Land's hands as well. He's looking for a frag with that. I think he will humble them slightly with 2 tasty 1 digs and removes the Bison as well. Doesn't matter at all. It's 15-2, and they've got many, many, many match points.
Yeah, 13 to be precise. Maybe that means they're going to lose.
There you go. The rule of unlucky numbers.
See, it depends what way you look at it, because it's pretty unlucky for Fire to be down by 13 rounds as well, so...
Yeah, indeed.
I think that's probably the more unlucky of the two at the moment. Scouts and pistols, 2 Galils, and... Well, a team molly that would have made an A-rush possible if that had been their choice, but they seem to have taken things pretty calmly here in the initial moments of the round, as... Gas gets himself a initial entry. I read that as ass nearly every time, man. Just because the G's.
I know. It's a capitalization, right?
Yeah.
It's a capitalization. It can catch you off guard. I managed to get 1 kill back. Shandara's is low HP off the back of that. He's pushed down toward the secret position, but look at the damage done to Zingy. He's trying to fire away with the scout outside, trying to hit at least 1 more tag. Might have to be down to Sanj, and he only has that deagle. And comes to the Galil, not low HP, but the trade was always going to be there. Gas takes it, and now 3 versus 2. Ooh, in come the frags. Okay, here we go. There's that scout finally getting that kill. So Child King, 26-5 in this game. Takes a tag to the scout, but he still has a 1v1 to play out. Sanj with the deagle. Oh, Child King doesn't realise it's the A-bomb site. There we go. Figures it out now. Might have to go for a save now. He's picked the wrong site. Doesn't have a defuse kit. Sanj is repositioned to a decent position, and now, of course, with the door sound being made, he's waiting for that push up the vents. Kit picked up, so now he's got time for it. And Sanj has not picked up any of the guns, still only has that deagle, spots it out, takes him down, and even if Child King picks the wrong bomb site, he'll still win out the clutch. That is the nutshell performance for Child King, I think it's fair to say. 28 kills and just the 5 deaths. That is utterly ridiculous, and it's an easy 2-0 for Wings Up.
Yeah, I can't recall where he was on the scoreboard on the first map, but from what I can remember, they were all kind of contributing a fairly equal amount, and then you had the stars, I suppose, pop off a little bit more here on Nuke, where we just never seen anything come together really at all for the boys over on I'm blanking. Why am I so bad with team names, man?
Fire Esports.
Fire, yeah, it's 3 letters. But yeah, it just didn't come together on Nuke at all. We knew it was a possibility. We said it, knowing it was Wings Up map choice. We already had seen how dominant they were on Mirage of all maps, where you'd probably expect things to maybe be a little bit more competitive, but that didn't happen. So we knew it was a possibility. I hoped it wouldn't be the case, though. I thought the CT side perhaps would be a little bit stronger for Fire. That could give them some sort of foundation to work off of, but that just didn't happen.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the case. I believe the match that, of course, we were originally meant to cast on this stream today, NKT versus MungYu. I believe NKT had won that first map of Vertigo, so they're up 1-0, and I think they're in the midst of playing map 2. So it looks like they're probably heading toward a comfortable victory. That was kind of as we expected in that game as well, but at least we got to see at least 4 teams total today, technically, thanks to the picture-in-picture magic from our producer Kai. But yeah, from us today, at least for the Asia region, that is it for now. If you want to stick around and come back in around about 4 hours time, I reckon there's some EU action that'll be coming your way. I believe Falcons versus 9 is one of the EU matches tonight, and that is a high quality matchup, so make sure you stick around for that one and come back for that. But for now, for us, from Asia, for this week, it's goodbye. See you guys.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.